For too long, society has taught us to be nice. We are encouraged to be polite, considerate, and accommodating, to put others' needs before our own. But the truth is, being a nice guy often leads to frustration, resentment, and the loss of personal boundaries. It's time to stop being a nice guy, because being overly nice can sometimes be a form of self-sacrifice. And when you sacrifice yourself for the sake of others, you lose your own sense of identity. You become so caught up in trying to please everyone that you forget who you are and what you stand for. Being a nice guy often comes with the expectation of validation or rewards, but life doesn't work that way. The world doesn't owe you anything just because you're kind. In fact, people often take advantage of your niceness. You give and give, but what do you get in return? If you've ever felt taken for granted, it's because being a nice guy doesn't always earn respect or appreciation. Instead, it breeds dependency and manipulation. When you're too eager to please, you may find that you are constantly putting out the needs of others while neglecting your own desires. It's not about turning into someone rude or inconsiderate. It's about setting boundaries, taking ownership of your life, and choosing to prioritize your well-being. You don't have to say yes to everything just because it's the nice thing to do. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say no. Saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a person who knows their limits, who respects themselves enough to protect their time and energy. Being a nice guy can also be a defense mechanism. It's a way of hiding behind a mask of kindness so that others won't see your vulnerabilities. But true strength doesn't come from hiding behind an image. It comes from embracing who you really are. If you're constantly worried about what others think of you, you'll never be free. You have to stop living for the approval of others. The moment you stop being a nice guy and start living for yourself, you step into your own power. Understand that being kind is important, but kindness is not about being a doormat. You don't have to constantly put others before yourself at the expense of your happiness or your goals. The truth is, you can still be compassionate, loving, and generous without compromising your values or your needs. It's about finding balance and learning to say no when you need to. Stop letting the label of being a nice guy define you. Realize that being authentic, assertive, and self-respecting is not only a healthier way to live, but also a more fulfilling one. When you stop bending over backward for the approval of others, you make room for the things that truly matter: your own growth, your dreams, your purpose. So stop being a nice guy and start being the person you were always meant to be. For far too long, society has conditioned us to believe that being nice is the only way to succeed and to be liked. We've been told that kindness, compliance, and accommodating others' needs are the hallmarks of a good person. From childhood, we are taught to play by the rules, to be polite, to smile in the face of discomfort, to say yes even when it means sacrificing our own peace. Over time, we internalize this expectation of being nice to the point where we think it is the only way to be accepted or loved. But in reality, being a nice guy can often hold us back from reaching our full potential and living a life that's truly aligned with our values and desires. When we spend too much time focusing on others' needs at the expense of our own, we lose ourselves. We become trapped in a cycle where we prioritize making others happy, hoping that they will return the favor. But what happens when that doesn't occur? What happens when your kindness is taken for granted or manipulated? What happens when your niceness becomes a weakness, a tool for others to use against you? You find yourself drained, resentful, and disconnected from your own passions and goals. This is not a sustainable or fulfilling way to live. It's time to recognize that being nice doesn't mean you have to be a pushover. You don't have to be the one who constantly says yes to every request, who constantly overextends themselves, or who feels guilty for setting boundaries. In fact, the most loving thing you can do for both yourself and others is to stop being a nice guy in the traditional sense. Being overly nice isn't real kindness. It's a form of self-suppression, a way of hiding your true self in order to please others. It's a defense mechanism, a mask you wear to avoid confrontation, rejection, or judgment. But behind that mask is the real you, the person with dreams, desires, and a right to be heard. True kindness, the kind that comes from strength and authenticity, requires courage. It requires the ability to say no when you need to, the confidence to stand up for what you believe in, and the wisdom to recognize when your niceness is being used to manipulate or take advantage of you. You don't have to be a doormat to be kind. In fact, being a doormat is a betrayal to your own soul. It's a denial of your worth, your needs, and your individuality. When you are constantly giving to others without receiving in return, you are allowing your energy to be drained, and you are neglecting the things that matter most to you. You are not responsible for everyone else's happiness. You are not here to live for others, to serve their needs without regard for your own. You are here to live your life with purpose, to pursue your own dreams, to honor your own truth. And to do that, you must stop being the nice guy who says yes to everything, who sacrifices their own peace for the sake of others, who bends over backward in hopes of gaining approval. You must learn to set boundaries, to be unapologetic about your needs, and to embrace your power. Being a nice guy often comes from a place of insecurity or fear. You're afraid of conflict, afraid of being disliked, afraid of rejection. But the truth is, trying to please everyone only leads to frustration and emptiness. When you're constantly seeking validation from others, you place your happiness in their hands. You become dependent on their approval, and when you don't get it, you feel worthless or unimportant. This is a dangerous cycle that keeps you stuck, trapped in a state of perpetual pleasing and never truly feeling good enough. If you want to break free from this cycle, you have to change your mindset. You have to stop living for others and start living for yourself. You have to believe that you are enough just as you are, that your value isn't dependent on how much you give or how many people you please. You don't need to be constantly nice to be worthy of love and respect. The people who truly care about you will appreciate you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. True relationships are built on mutual respect, trust, and understanding, not on the endless performance of niceness. You don't have to say yes to every request. And you don't have to put yourself last in order to be a good person. In fact, it's impossible to be good to others when you're not good to yourself. If you constantly neglect your own needs, you will eventually burn out, and then you'll have nothing left to give. It's like trying to pour water from an empty cup. You can't take care of others if you're not taking care of yourself first. So it's time to stop being a nice guy and start being a strong, self-respecting individual who knows when to say no, who knows when to take a step back, and who knows when to put themselves first. People may try to guilt trip you into doing things for them, but you don't have to fall for it. You don't owe anyone an explanation for prioritizing your own well-being. You don't need to feel guilty for saying no, and you don't need to feel ashamed for not always being the one to help. Saying no isn't selfish, it's an act of self-care. It's an affirmation of your own worth and a declaration that you respect yourself enough to honor your time, energy, and boundaries. As you stop being the nice guy, you'll start to notice a shift in your life. You'll start to feel more empowered, more in control of your own destiny. You'll begin to attract people who respect your boundaries and value you for who you truly are. When you stop bending over backward for others, you make room for relationships that are genuine and fulfilling. You'll no longer be giving away your energy to people who take you for granted. Instead, you'll be investing in people who uplift and support you in return. This doesn't mean you stop being kind. It doesn't mean you stop being compassionate or caring. It means you stop being nice in the way that leads to self-sacrifice and resentment. You can still be kind and loving, but you must do so from a place of strength and self-respect, not from a place of fear or insecurity. You can still help others, but you must do so without compromising your own peace or your own needs. You can still be generous, but you must be discerning about where and how you give. In your relationships, you'll find that true connection comes when you show up as your authentic self, not when you try to be someone you think others want you to be. People respect honesty, vulnerability, and strength. They appreciate those who are willing to speak up for themselves, who aren't afraid to set boundaries, and who aren't afraid to say no when necessary. Being a nice guy might make you appear agreeable in the short term, but it won't earn you lasting respect or fulfillment. Respect is earned through integrity, self-respect, and authenticity. It's time to step into your own power. It's time to stop living in fear of rejection or disapproval. it's time to stop being a nice guy. And start being the person you were meant to be, someone who knows their worth, who stands up for their needs, and who refuses to settle for anything less than what they deserve. When you stop being a nice guy, you stop sacrificing your peace, your happiness, and your dreams for others. You start living a life that is true to who you are, and that's the only life worth living. When you begin to stop being the nice guy, something profound happens. You begin to realize the energy you've been giving away to others is energy you should be channeling back into your own life. You begin to reclaim the parts of yourself that were lost in the hustle of trying to please everyone else. No longer will you be caught in the trap of seeking external validation, because you will realize that true validation comes from within. The need to please others becomes less important, because your sense of self-worth doesn't depend on how well you cater to the desires and expectations of the people around you. You stop seeking permission from others to be yourself, and you start giving yourself the permission to be authentically you. Many times, the nice guy falls into the trap of trying to avoid conflict at all costs. This fear of conflict is one of the primary reasons that people suppress their true selves. In an attempt to keep the peace, you might ignore your own feelings, opinions, and desires. This might make you feel good in the short term, but in the long run it leads to frustration, resentment, and burnout. The avoidance of conflict does not create peace, rather. It creates a simmering tension within that eats away at your sense of personal integrity. There's a deep inner conflict that arises when you silence your truth in order to maintain a facade of niceness. You have to understand that conflict is not inherently bad. In fact, it's necessary for growth and self-discovery. Conflict provides the opportunity to assert yourself, to defend your boundaries, and to express your true feelings. When you avoid conflict, you are essentially allowing others to define your reality. You are handing over your power in exchange for a false sense of harmony. But this so-called harmony is a shallow substitute for the peace that comes from living in alignment with your true self. Real peace is not the absence of conflict, it is the ability to navigate conflict from a place of strength and self-assurance. When you stop being a nice guy, you begin to trust yourself. You trust that you know what's best for you, and you trust that you have the ability to handle whatever comes your way. You stop second-guessing your decisions in fear of upsetting others, and you start making decisions based on what feels right for you. You stop apologizing for your needs, and you stop feeling guilty for taking up space in the world. When you begin to trust yourself, you also start to trust others. You no longer feel the need to control or manipulate the people around you to maintain a sense of security. You learn that other people's reactions are out of your control, and that's okay. You can still love and respect them without compromising your own values. The shift from being the nice guy to being someone who respects their own boundaries is not always easy. The people around you may resist this change. They might push back because they are used to the old you who would do anything to keep them happy. But that's the thing about boundaries, they require everyone involved to adapt. People who truly care about you will respect your boundaries, and those who don't will fall away. This can be a painful process, especially if it means letting go of relationships or situations that no longer serve you. But in the end, it's worth it, because when you begin to set boundaries, you begin to attract people who value you for who you truly are, not for what you can do for them. The more you practice standing up for yourself and saying no when necessary, the more you'll realize that you don't need to apologize for existing. Your worth isn't contingent on your ability to please others. You are worthy because you are you. You are deserving of respect, of love, and of space in this world simply because you exist. And when you fully embrace this truth, you stop shrinking yourself to fit into the expectations of others. You stop living a life dictated by the opinions, desires, and demands of those around you. You start living your life according to your own values, your own vision, and your own purpose. Being a nice guy often involves putting yourself last, trying to meet the needs of everyone around you while neglecting your own. But when you stop being nice in this way, you start to realize that your needs are just as important as anyone else's. Your dreams are just as valid, and your desires deserve to be fulfilled. You are not a servant to the whims of others, you are the creator of your own reality. You have the right to create a life that is meaningful, fulfilling, and authentic to you. When you stop being a nice guy, you stop living in reaction to the world around you. Instead, you begin to live with intention. You start to make choices that are in alignment with your goals, your values, and your purpose. No longer will you feel like you're just going along with whatever comes your way. You take the reins of your life into your own hands, and you make decisions based on what is best for you, not based on what will make others like you. This kind of empowerment comes from a deep understanding of your own worth and your own desires. It comes from the recognition that you are the only one who gets to decide how you show up in the world. At first, this shift may feel uncomfortable. You might feel guilty or unsure when you start saying no or when you begin to assert your boundaries. It's normal to feel a sense of discomfort when you break away from old patterns. But over time, as you begin to see the positive impact that setting boundaries has on your life, you'll realize that the discomfort is worth it. You will feel a sense of liberation and empowerment as you reclaim your energy and your time. You will no longer feel drained, overwhelmed, or resentful because you will have learned how to honor yourself in the same way you honor others. The process of letting go of the nice guy persona is a journey of self-discovery and self-love. It's about learning to trust your own judgment, to value your own needs, and to stand firm in your convictions. It's about realizing that you don't have to be everything to everyone. You can be yourself unapologetically and authentically, and still attract the people and experiences that align with your truth. You don't have to change who you are to be loved or accepted. You just have to stop hiding behind the mask of niceness and start showing up as the real, unfiltered version of yourself. It's important to remember that this doesn't mean you should be rude or disrespectful to others. Being kind is still essential. It's just about finding the balance between kindness for others and kindness for yourself. You can be a compassionate, caring, and generous person, but you don't have to sacrifice your happiness or your peace in the process. Being a nice guy, in the traditional sense, often involves overgiving, saying yes when you want to say no, ignoring your own feelings in favor of others, and compromising your boundaries to avoid conflict. But true kindness involves honoring your own needs while still being considerate of others. As you stop being a nice guy and start embracing your authentic self, you will find that your relationships become more fulfilling. You will attract people who respect your boundaries and who love you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. You will begin to experience deeper, more meaningful connections because you will no longer be hiding behind a facade. Instead, you will be showing up as your true self, and that is the most powerful thing you can offer the world. As you continue on this journey, remember that it's not about being mean or selfish. It's about learning to honor yourself and your needs just as much as you honor the needs of others. It's about creating balance in your life and refusing to settle for anything less than what you truly deserve. So stop being the nice guy who sacrifices his own happiness for the sake of others. Start being the person who values himself, who sets boundaries, and who chooses to live authentically, unapologetically, and confidently. Your life will transform, and you will begin to attract the people, opportunities, and experiences that align with your true purpose. When you stop being the nice guy, the process is not just about changing your behavior, it's about shifting your mindset and your approach to life. The shift is about moving from a place of seeking external approval to a place of internal validation. Many of us, especially those who tend to play the role of the nice guy, spend our lives trying to gain acceptance, trying to make sure others are happy, all at the expense of our own happiness and well-being. This is often done out of a fear of rejection, a desire for love, or a need to feel valuable to others. But when you stop being the nice guy, you start to break free from these chains. You stop seeking others' approval because you start realizing that your approval, your self-worth, and your self-love are what matter most. In this transformation, you begin to discover who you truly are without the need to please everyone, without the fear of conflict, and without the constant worry about how you are being perceived. You become more in tune with your own desires, your own emotions, and your own needs. This is liberating. It's empowering. You no longer live life on the terms of others, but on your own terms. You begin to understand that the love and respect you seek from others must first come from within you. You cannot be truly loved or respected by others until you love and respect yourself first. As you embrace this new mindset, it may feel like you are breaking some kind of unspoken social contract. You may feel guilt or shame for putting yourself first, especially if you've been conditioned to always put others' needs ahead of your own. You may worry about disappointing people, about being judged, or about being labeled as selfish. But here's the truth: being self-centered in a healthy way is not selfish. It is self-care. It is self-respect. It is recognizing your inherent worth and treating yourself as the valuable, worthy person you are. And when you do this, you not only elevate your own life, but you also show others how to respect themselves and prioritize their own needs as well. When you stop being a nice guy, you will realize that your time is precious. You will no longer let people waste your time or energy. You stop saying yes when you want to say no. And you stop going along with things simply because it's easier than standing up for what you really want or believe. You learn to say no with confidence and without guilt, because you understand that saying yes to others at the cost of your own well-being only leads to resentment, burnout, and frustration. The people who truly respect you will understand and appreciate your boundaries, and those who don't are not people you need in your life. You stop wasting your time on relationships or situations that drain you, and you begin to focus on what nurtures and nourishes your soul. Another powerful shift that comes from no longer being the nice guy is the development of your self-respect. The nice guy is often seen as someone who bends over backward to please others, but this act is often rooted in a lack of self-respect. You cannot truly respect others if you don't respect yourself first. When you stop being the nice guy, you begin to set clear standards for how you expect to be treated. You begin to stand up for yourself when others try to take advantage of you, and you stop tolerating disrespect. Your standards for yourself and others rise, and as a result, you attract people into your life who treat you with the same respect you now give yourself. You start to attract higher quality relationships, ones that are based on mutual respect, equality, and shared values. Your interactions with others shift from being transactional to being authentic and meaningful. Your confidence will also increase as a result of this transformation. The nice guy often lacks confidence because his sense of self-worth is tied to how others perceive him or how much he can do for others. But once you stop being the nice guy, you start to realize that you have value simply because you exist. Your self-worth is not determined by what you do for others or how well you fulfill their needs. You begin to recognize that you are worthy of success, love, and happiness, just as you are. This new understanding of your worth gives you the confidence to pursue your goals, to make bold decisions, and to step into your power. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into other people's expectations, and you start showing up in life as the fullest, most authentic version of yourself. The more you stop being the nice guy, the more you will realize that your happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances or other people's opinions. You begin to cultivate a sense of inner peace and contentment that comes from being true to yourself, from living a life that aligns with your values, and from respecting your own needs and desires. You no longer feel the need to be constantly busy, constantly doing things for others, or constantly sacrificing your own well-being in order to make others happy. You start to live life for you, and this shift in focus is not only liberating, but it also attracts more of what you truly want into your life. When you focus on your own happiness and fulfillment, you create space for greater abundance, love, and joy. One of the most freeing aspects of no longer being the nice guy is that you begin to stop seeking approval from others. The nice guy often lives in fear of being criticized, rejected, or judged. As a result, he becomes a chameleon, adapting to whatever people want or expect in order to fit in. But when you stop being the nice guy, you let go of this need for approval. You no longer care what others think of you because you know who you are and you stand firm in your own identity. You are no longer trying to be liked or accepted by everyone because you realize that not everyone will like you, and that's okay. You don't need everyone's approval to feel good about yourself. You only need your own approval. This doesn't mean you should become cold or indifferent to others. You don't have to be rude or inconsiderate. It's about finding the balance between being kind to others and being kind to yourself. It's about respecting your own needs and boundaries while still being compassionate and caring toward others. True kindness comes from a place of strength and self-respect, not from weakness or people-pleasing. When you stop being the nice guy, you stop enabling people to take advantage of you or treating you as if your needs are secondary to theirs. You become stronger, more assertive, and more compassionate at the same time. You will also start to attract the right people into your life when you stop being the nice guy. Instead of attracting people who take advantage of you or who only seek to use you, you will begin to draw in people who respect you for who you are and who value you for the things that make you unique. You will find that your relationships become deeper, more authentic, and more fulfilling. You no longer have to chase after people's affection or approval, because you know that the right people will come to you when you show up as your true, authentic self. As you continue to evolve into the person who no longer feels the need to please everyone, you will start to notice a shift in how you view yourself. You will begin to see yourself as powerful, worthy, and deserving of everything good that life has to offer. You will no longer settle for mediocrity or for relationships that drain you. You will set higher standards for yourself and for the people you allow into your life. You will become someone who commands respect not because you demand it, but because you live in alignment with your values and your truth. This journey of stopping being the nice guy is not a one-time event, but a continual process of self-discovery and growth. It's about letting go of old patterns and beliefs that no longer serve you and embracing the power of self-respect, self-love, and authenticity. It's about standing in your truth, no matter how uncomfortable or difficult that may feel at times. As you continue to embrace this new way of living, you will find that the world begins to shift in your favor. You will attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right experiences into your life because you are no longer trying to force or manipulate anything. You are simply showing up as yourself, and that is more than enough. In conclusion, the journey of stopping being the nice guy is not about becoming callous or unkind. It's about reclaiming your personal power, respecting your own boundaries, and prioritizing your own happiness. It's about letting go of the need for constant approval and realizing that your worth is not determined by how much you give to others or how much you sacrifice yourself. The shift comes from understanding that true strength lies in being authentic, in standing firm in your own identity, and in recognizing that you are worthy of respect and love just as you are. As you stop being the nice guy, you free yourself from the constraints of people-pleasing and self-sacrifice. You begin to live a life that is driven by your own desires, values, and aspirations. You attract healthier, more fulfilling relationships, and you experience deeper satisfaction in everything you do. You realize that self-respect, self-love, and personal fulfillment are not selfish, they are essential to your well-being and to the relationships you cultivate with others. The power to change, to stop being the nice guy, lies within you. It starts with recognizing your inherent value, setting healthy boundaries, and treating yourself with the same kindness and respect that you would offer others. When you take control of your own life and stop living for the approval of others, you unlock a sense of freedom, empowerment, and self-worth that will transform every aspect of your life. So step into your power, honor yourself, and live as the true, authentic person you were always meant to be.
We shall explore a truth so profound, yet so often overlooked, that it has the power to completely reshape your world and your experience of life. Consider for a moment the words I am. These two simple words are the most powerful in any language, for they are the name of God, the creative principle of the universe. When you declare I am, you are invoking the divine presence within you, the very source of all creation. And what follows these words shapes your reality in ways beyond your current comprehension. But what does it truly mean to use I am affirmations for success? It is not a matter of mere positive thinking or wishful declarations. It is a state of consciousness, a shift in your very being that aligns you with the creative power of the universe. It is about recognizing that your consciousness, your awareness of being, is the only reality. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. Your outer world, every experience you have, every circumstance you encounter, is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world, your concept of self. And this concept of self is shaped moment by moment by your I am declarations. When you understand this, truly understand it, you realize that by carefully choosing and persistently holding certain I am statements in your consciousness, you are actively creating a reality where these statements are true. This understanding is crucial, for it shifts the entire paradigm of how you approach success. No longer are you a seeker of success, hoping for favorable circumstances or lucky breaks. You become the embodiment of success, knowing that as you assume the state of being successful through your I am declarations, the universe must rearrange itself to match this inner assumption. But how, you may ask, does one harness this power of I am affirmations? The answer lies in the creative power of your wonderful human imagination combined with the living force of feeling. For your imagination is not a mere fantasy maker, and your feelings are not mere reactions to external stimuli. Together, they form the very workshop in which reality is forged. Let us take a moment to truly understand this. Your subconscious mind, which is one with the universal creative force, does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and feel as true and what you actually experience in the outer world. It accepts as true whatever you feel to be true in your I am statements. And once it accepts an idea as true, it proceeds to bring it into manifestation in your physical reality. So, when you declare I am successful, when you feel the reality of this statement with every fiber of your being, you are not engaging in wishful thinking or self-deception. You are actively creating your reality from within. You are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe, allowing it to work through you and for you. This, my dear listeners, is the essence of using I am affirmations for success. It is about recognizing that the power to shape your reality lies within you, waiting to be expressed through your conscious I am declarations. It is about understanding that your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner concept of self, which is defined by your I am statements. Consider the biblical phrase, "Be still and know that I am God." This is not a mere poetic expression or a command from an external deity. It is a statement of cosmic law, an invitation to recognize the divine creative power within you. When you become still, when you quiet the chattering of your surface mind, you can feel the truth of your I am nature, the God presence within you that is the source of all creation. But let me be clear. Using I am affirmations is not about empty repetitions or false positivity. It is about a fundamental shift in your consciousness, in how you perceive and declare yourself to be. When you truly embody this practice, your I am statements naturally align with your desired state of being. You begin to declare your success, your abundance, your health, not as distant possibilities, but as present realities. Let us explore this further with an example. Imagine a person whose inner dialogue is constantly filled with limiting I am statements. They might unconsciously think, I am unlucky, I am not good enough, I am always struggling. These inner declarations, repeated day after day, shape their subconscious beliefs and consequently their reality. They are, in essence, programming themselves for failure and limitation, creating a life that reflects these negative I am statements. Now imagine this same person shifting their approach. Instead of negative self-talk, they begin to consciously use empowering I am affirmations. They might declare, I am successful, I am worthy of abundance, I am capable of achieving my goals. They say these things consistently, with feeling, with conviction, knowing that they are shaping their reality with each I am declaration. They live each day from these new statements, carrying themselves with the certainty of someone who truly believes these empowering thoughts. In this state, their entire experience of life begins to shift. They start to notice opportunities they might have missed before. They approach challenges with confidence rather than fear. They interact with others from a place of worthiness rather than insecurity. And in doing so, they begin to create a reality that matches these new, empowering I am declarations. They allow success, abundance, and achievement to flow into their experience, drawn by the power of their I am statements and the feeling behind them. This principle applies to every aspect of your life. Whether you're seeking success in your career, relationships, health, or any other area, the key is just to first declare it as true in your I am statements. Declare your success, your lovability, your health in the privacy of your own consciousness. For what you consistently declare yourself to be sets the tone for your entire life experience. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, isn't this just positive thinking? Isn't this denial of reality? And to this, I say emphatically no. This is not about denying your current circumstances. It is about understanding the true nature of reality and the creative power of your consciousness. Your current circumstances are nothing more than the fruit of your past I am declarations and beliefs about yourself. They have no power to determine your future unless you give them that power by continuing to think and feel their reality. When you shift your I am declarations, when you begin to consciously choose empowering statements about yourself, you are not denying reality. You are exercising your divine right to choose which reality you wish to experience. Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no life of its own. It is your consciousness, expressed through your I am declarations and feelings, that gives life to your experiences. When you unconsciously make negative I am statements, you are breathing life into a reality where these negative statements are true. But when you consciously choose empowering I am affirmations, you cause your outer world to rearrange itself to match these new inner declarations. This, my dear friends, is the true secret to using I am affirmations for success. It is about aligning your inner declarations with the highest vision of yourself and your life, recognizing that this desired reality is seeking expression through you, and allowing it to flow into your experience through the power of your I am statements and feelings. But let me warn you, this shift in your I am declarations is not always an easy path. The old habits of negative self-talk, of unconsciously making limiting I am statements, are deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness. As you embark on this new way of thinking, you may find resistance arising within you. Doubts may creep in. Old thought patterns may try to reassert themselves. When this happens, do not fight against these thoughts. Simply observe them, acknowledge them, and then gently return to your empowering I am affirmations. For the war is not won by battling against what you don't want to be, but by persistently declaring what you do want to be. This persistence, this unwavering commitment to maintaining empowering I am declarations in the face of contrary evidence is what allows you to truly change your life. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you're trying to listen to a particular station, you don't focus on eliminating all the other stations. You simply tune into the frequency you desire. In the same way, you don't need to fight against your current reality or forcefully push away negative thoughts. You simply need to tune yourself to the frequency of success, to align your I am declarations with the highest vision of yourself in your life. This tuning is done through your conscious choice of I am statements and your ability to feel the reality of these words. Your I am declarations are the dial that allows you to tune into different frequencies of experience. As you use your I am statements to declare empowering truths about yourself, as you feel the reality of these declarations, you are tuning yourself to that frequency. allowing the corresponding experiences to flow into your life. But remember, my friends, this is not a one-time event. Using I am affirmations for success is a way of life. It's a constant choice to maintain these empowering declarations, regardless of appearances. Just as you wouldn't expect to stay in shape by exercising once, you cannot expect to change your life by using I am affirmations once. This is about persistently maintaining empowering I am declarations about living from this consciousness day in and day out until it becomes your new normal. As you do this, you will find that your perception of yourself and your life begins to shift. What once seemed like limitations now appear as opportunities for growth. Challenges become stepping stones to success. You begin to see yourself as the successful, empowered being you truly are, knowing that your I am declarations are constantly shaping your reality. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Neville, how can I maintain empowering I am affirmations when I face real challenges? How can I declare success when my current reality seems to contradict these statements? And to this I say, your I am declarations infused with feeling and imagination are more powerful than any circumstance. Consider for a moment, have you ever been deeply moved by a story, whether in a book or a movie? In those moments, were you not feeling real emotions based on imaginary events? Your feelings were real, even though the events were not happening in your physical reality. This is the power you must harness when you use your I am affirmations. You must use your imagination to infuse your I am statements with feeling. As you declare I am successful, imagine how you would feel if this statement were already true in your life. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the sense of accomplishment that would come with this reality. Feel these states as vividly and as consistently as you can as you make your I am declarations. The key is to make your I am affirmations as real to you as possible. Engage all your senses. As you declare I am abundant, feel the sense of security and freedom that comes with abundance. As you affirm I am in perfect health, feel the vitality and energy coursing through your body. As you state, I am achieving my goals, see yourself in your mind's eye reaching those milestones. Hear the congratulations of others. Feel the sense of fulfillment. Make it real in your mind and heart as you speak your I am affirmations. But here's a crucial point, my friends. The goal is not to use I am affirmations about specific outcomes. The goal is to use I am statements that align with your essential self, your true identity. For it is this alignment with your true self that is the real key to success. Let me illustrate this with an example. Instead of just affirming I am wealthy, align your I am statement with the essence of abundance. Declare I am one with the source of all abundance. I am worthy of unlimited prosperity. I am a channel through which abundance flows. Instead of merely stating I am successful, align your affirmation with the essence of success by declaring I am capable of achieving greatness. I am constantly growing and improving. I am fulfilling my highest potential. By aligning your I am affirmations with your essential self, rather than just external conditions, you allow the universe to bring your desires to you in ways that might far exceed your specific imaginings. You open yourself to possibilities beyond what your current mindset can conceive. This is the true art of using I am affirmations for success. It's not about forcing yourself to believe something against all evidence. It's about aligning your declarations with the truth of your divine nature, your oneness with the creative power of the universe. It's about using I am statements that resonate with the highest vision of who you truly are. As you practice this, you may find that your outer world begins to shift in subtle ways. Perhaps you start to feel more confident and worthy. Or you find yourself naturally making choices that align with success. Or opportunities for growth and achievement seem to appear out of nowhere. These are all signs that your inner shift, brought about by your empowering I am affirmations, is creating ripples in your outer reality. Don't discount these small changes. Celebrate them. See them as confirmation that the law is working, that your I am declarations are taking root. But don't become attached to them or anxiously look for them. Simply acknowledge them with gratitude and continue to use your empowering I am affirmations. As you persist in this practice, larger changes will begin to manifest. You may find yourself naturally attracting more success and positive experiences. You may notice that your relationships improve, that your career flourishes, that abundance flows more freely into your life. And as you continue to maintain these empowering I am affirmations, you'll discover that life becomes an exciting adventure of expanding success and fulfillment. But remember, the art of manifestation is not the goal. The goal is the state of consciousness from which success naturally flows. This is a crucial point, my friends. When you're truly embodying your I am affirmations, when you're fully living from these empowering declarations, you no longer need external circumstances to confirm your success or worth. You're already whole, already complete in your knowing that you are a divine, successful being. And paradoxically, it's in this state of inner assurance that you're most likely to experience a life filled with manifest success. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about action? Don't we need to do things in the physical world to achieve success? And to this I say, yes, action is part of the process. But it's inspired action, not anxious doing. When you're consistently using empowering I am affirmations, ideas and opportunities will naturally present themselves to you. You'll feel inspired to take certain actions, to move in certain directions. These actions won't feel like struggle or effort. They'll feel natural, joyful, almost effortless. This is the difference between trying to make success happen and allowing it to happen. When you're trying to force success, actions feel stressful, born out of fear and doubt. When you're maintaining empowering I am affirmations, actions flow naturally from your aligned state, guided by an inner wisdom that knows exactly how to bring about the manifestation of your success. Consider the example of a seed. A seed doesn't strain to become a tree. It doesn't force itself to grow. It simply unfolds naturally, expressing its innate potential. You, my dear listeners, are no different. When you align your I am declarations with your true, successful nature, you allow your success to unfold naturally and beautifully, expressing the infinite potential that is your birthright. But let me be clear, this state of allowing is not passive. It requires an active use of your I am affirmations, a deliberate and consistent practice of declaring empowering truths about yourself. It requires faith, not blind faith in external circumstances, but faith in the creative power of your consciousness and your I am declarations. This faith is not about believing that success will come someday in the future. It's about knowing that you are successful now, in this very moment, and that your I am affirmations are constantly shaping your reality to reflect this successful state. As you cultivate this faith, as you persist in using empowering I am affirmations, you'll begin to see evidence of these affirmations manifesting in your outer world. These signs may start small: an unexpected opportunity, a fortuitous meeting, a sudden insight that leads to a breakthrough. Do not discount these signs, no matter how small they may seem, for they are confirmation that your inner world, shaped by your empowering I am affirmations, is indeed shaping your outer reality. They are breadcrumbs leading you to the full realization of the successful life you are creating through your declarations. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to address a common concern that arises when people first encounter this teaching. Many worry that focusing on I am affirmations might somehow make them selfish or disconnected from others. But I assure you, my friends, the opposite is true. When you truly understand the principle of I am affirmations, you realize that you are not separate from others. As you elevate your own consciousness through your declarations, you are elevating the consciousness of all. Your empowering I am statements far from disconnecting you from others, actually expand the field of possibilities for all. Moreover, when you are coming from a place of inner success and empowerment, you naturally have more to give to others. You become a channel through which success and abundance flow not just to you, but through you to the world. Your I am affirmations create a ripple effect, touching the lives of everyone you encounter with your sense of confidence and possibility. This is the true gift of using I am affirmations for success. It's not just about improving your individual circumstances, although that will happen. It's about aligning yourself with the fundamental nature of the universe, which is boundless good. It's about recognizing your own divine nature and allowing it to express itself fully through you. In this state of alignment, of consistently using empowering I am affirmations, you become a beacon of success and possibility in the world. You demonstrate to others the power of conscious creation. You challenge limiting beliefs and expand the boundaries of what's possible, not just for yourself, but for all those around you. But remember, this power is not something external to you. It's not some cosmic force that you need to appease or manipulate. It is the natural expression of your own consciousness when it's aligned with the truth of your being. You are the power. You are the success. You are the one to whom you are speaking these empowering I am affirmations. As we draw our time together to a close, I want to leave you with a final thought. The principle we've explored tonight, listen every day. I am affirmations for success is not just a technique for achieving goals. It's about recognizing your true nature as a divine creative being. It's about aligning your declarations with the fundamental truth of your being and allowing your grandest expression of success to flow through you. When you live from this understanding, everything changes. The world becomes a friendly place filled with infinite possibilities for success and fulfillment. You no longer see yourself as a small, separate being struggling to achieve success. Instead, you recognize yourself as the author of your own success story, the creator own reality. In this state, there's no need to chase after success or strive for achievement, for you understand that you are the source of all success. Your job is simply to maintain your empowering I am affirmations, to live from this consciousness, and to allow the universe to arrange the details of their manifestation. So, my dear friends, as you leave here tonight, I urge you to embrace this principle with all your heart. Don't see it as a technique to be applied occasionally, but as a way of life to be lived continuously. Use your mighty imagination to infuse your I am affirmations with feeling. Feel the naturalness of being the successful, empowered being you truly are. Live from this state. Persist in these declarations and watch as your world rearranges itself to match your I am affirmations. Remember, you are not a limited being struggling for success. You are the infinite consciousness, choosing to experience success from this particular vantage point. Your I am affirmations are the tools through which you shape your experience. Use them wisely with the awareness of your true nature and the responsibility that comes with it. Go forth and create the successful, fulfilling life that is your birthright. Knowing that with each empowering I am affirmation, you are aligning more fully with the truth of your divine successful nature. The power to completely revolutionize your life in ways you have never imagined possible. Consider for a moment the concept of time. You may perceive it as a linear progression with change occurring gradually over days, weeks, or years. But I say unto you, true transformation, the kind that alters the very fabric of your reality, can occur in a single night, in a single moment of focused imagination and unwavering belief. But what does it truly mean to say that you will never be the same again after just one night? It is not a matter of external circumstances magically changing while you sleep. It is a state of consciousness, a shift in your very being that aligns you with the creative power of the universe. It is about recognizing that your consciousness Your awareness of being is the only reality, and that a profound shift in this awareness can and will transform your entire world. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. Your outer world, every experience you have, every circumstance you encounter, is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world, your concept of self. And this concept of self can be radically altered in a single night through the power of your imagination. When you understand this, truly understand it, you realize that by carefully choosing and vividly imagining a new state of being for a single night, you are actively creating a new reality that will unfold in your experience. This understanding is crucial, for it shifts the entire paradigm of how you approach change and transformation. No longer are you a helpless being at the mercy of time and circumstance, hoping for gradual improvement. You become the active creator of your reality, knowing that as you assume a new state of being in your imagination for a single night, the universe must rearrange itself to match this new inner assumption. But how, you may ask, can one night have such a profound and lasting impact? The answer lies in the creative power of your wonderful human imagination, combined with the intensity of your feeling and belief. For your imagination is not a mere fantasy maker, and your feelings are not mere reactions to external stimuli. Together they form the very workshop in which reality is forged. Let us take a moment to truly understand this. Your subconscious mind, which is one with the universal creative force, does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and feel as true and what you actually experience in the outer world. It accepts as true whatever you feel to be true in your imaginal acts. And once it accepts an idea as true, it proceeds to bring it into manifestation in your physical reality, regardless of how long it takes in clock time. So when you spend a single night wholly absorbed in the feeling of being your ideal self, when you fall asleep in the absolute conviction that you are now the person you desire to be, you are not engaging in wishful thinking or self-deception. You are actively creating your new reality from within. You are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe, allowing it to work through you and for you. This, my dear listeners, is the essence of how one night can change everything. It is about recognizing that the power to shape your reality lies within you, waiting to be expressed through your conscious imaginal acts. It is about understanding that your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner concept of self, which can be radically altered in a single focused night of imagination. Consider the biblical phrase, "In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, we shall all be changed." This is not a mere poetic expression or a promise of some future event. It is a statement of cosmic law, an invitation to recognize the power of a single moment of transformed consciousness. When you truly embody a new state in your imagination, when you feel this reality with every fiber of your being, you are changed in that very moment. The outer manifestation may take time to catch up, but the inner transformation is instantaneous. But let me be clear, this one night of transformation is not about forced visualizations or strained affirmations. It is about a total immersion in the feeling of being your ideal self. When you truly embody this practice, you naturally assume the thoughts, feelings, and inner conversations of the person you desire to be. You go to sleep not as the person you've always been, but as the person you've always wanted to be. Let us explore this further with an example. Imagine a person who has always struggled with confidence and self-worth. For years, their inner dialogue has been filled with self-doubt and limitation. Now, imagine this person deciding to spend one night fully embodying the state of unshakable confidence and self-assurance. As they lie in bed, they immerse themselves in the feeling of being a confident, worthy individual. They feel the peace, the certainty, the inner strength of someone who truly believes in themselves. They allow this feeling to permeate every cell of their being. They fall asleep in this state, carrying it into their dreams. When they awaken, something has shifted. They may not see immediate external changes, but internally, they are no longer the same person. They have experienced the reality of being confident and worthy, and this new self-concept begins to reshape their outer world. In the days and weeks that follow, they find themselves naturally acting with more confidence. They speak up in situations where they would have previously remained silent. They pursue opportunities they would have once thought beyond their reach. And as they do so, their outer world begins to reflect this new inner state. People respond to them differently. New doors open. Their entire life begins to transform, all stemming from that one night of focused imagination. This principle applies to every aspect of your life. Whether you desire success, love, health, or any other state of being, the key is to spend one night fully embodying that state in your imagination. Feel the reality of being successful, loved, healthy. Fall asleep in that state, knowing that as you do so, you are planting a seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind that must grow into your outer reality. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, can one night really make such a difference? Surely lasting change requires more time and effort. And to this I say, time is an illusion of the physical world. In the realm of consciousness where all creation takes place, there is only the eternal now. One night of fully embodying a new state can indeed reshape your entire future. For it plants a seed of a new self-concept that will inevitably grow into manifestation. Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no life of its own. It is your consciousness, your concept of self, that gives life to your experiences. When you spend one night fully embodying a new state of being, you are breathing life into a new reality. You are setting in motion a series of events that must culminate in the outer expression of this new inner state. This, my dear friends, is the true secret to how one night can change everything. It is about aligning your entire being with a new concept of self, recognizing that this new self is seeking expression through you, and allowing it to flow into your experience through the power of your focused imagination and unwavering belief. But let me warn you, this one night of transformation is not always an easy task. The old habits of thought and feeling, the familiar self-concept you've held for so long, may try to reassert themselves. As you lie in bed, attempting to embody your new, ideal state, doubts may creep in. The voice of your old self may try to convince you that change is impossible, that you're fooling yourself. When this happens, do not fight against these thoughts. Simply observe them, acknowledge them, and then gently return to the feeling of your new desired state of being. For the war is not won by battling against what you don't want to be, but by persistently embodying what you do want to be. This persistence, this unwavering commitment to maintaining your new state of being throughout the night, in the face of doubts and contrary evidence, is what allows you to truly change your life in a single night. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you're trying to listen to a particular station, you don't focus on eliminating all the other stations. You simply tune into the frequency you desire. In the same way, you don't need to fight against your current reality or forcefully push away doubts and fears. You simply need to tune yourself to the frequency of your desired state of being to align your entire consciousness with the person you wish to become. This tuning is done through your focused imagination and your ability to generate and maintain the feeling of your desired state. Your imagination is the dial that allows you to tune into different frequencies of experience. As you use your imagination to fully embody your ideal state, as you feel the reality of being this new version of yourself, you are tuning yourself to that frequency, allowing the corresponding experiences to flow into your life. But remember, my friends, while the inner transformation can occur in a single night, the full manifestation of this change in your outer world may take time. The seed planted in one night of focused imagination will grow, but it must go through its natural stages of development. Do not be discouraged if you do not see immediate dramatic changes in your external circumstances. Know that the moment you succeeded in fully embodying your new state, even for that one night, change became inevitable. As you persist in maintaining this new state in your daily life, you will find that your perception of yourself and your world begins to shift. What once seemed like limitations now appear as opportunities for growth. Challenges become stepping stones to success. You begin to see yourself as the empowered, ideal being you imagined yourself to be on that transformative night. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Neville, how can I ensure that I maintain this new state beyond that one night? How can I prevent falling back into old patterns? And to this I say the power of that one night lies not just in the intensity of the experience, but in the knowing it brings. Once you have experienced the reality of your ideal state, even if only in your imagination, you have tasted the truth of your divine nature. This knowing becomes an anchor, a reference point to which you can always return. In the days and weeks that follow your transformative night, you may face moments of doubt or challenge. In these moments, recall the feeling of that night. Remember the reality of being your ideal self. Let that memory, that knowing, guide you back to your new state of being. For having experienced it once, you can experience it again and again, each time strengthening your new self-concept. The key is to make your imaginal experience as real and vivid as possible. Engage all your senses. As you lie in bed preparing for your night of transformation, see yourself as the person you desire to be. Hear the congratulations and admiration of others. Feel the confidence, the joy, the fulfillment of being this ideal version of yourself. Make it so real that your rational mind cannot distinguish between this imaginal act and physical reality. But here's a crucial point, my friends. The goal is not to imagine specific events or circumstances. The goal is to embody the essence of your desired state of being. For it is this state of being that is the true attractor of your experiences. Let me illustrate this with an example. Instead of imagining yourself receiving a specific job offer or a particular sum of money, embody the state of being successful and financially abundant. Feel the security, the freedom, the joy that comes with this state. Instead of picturing a specific romantic partner, embody the state of being deeply loved and in a fulfilling relationship. Feel the love, the connection, the happiness of this state. By focusing on the state of being rather than specific outcomes, you allow the universe to bring your desires to you in ways that might far exceed your specific imaginings. You open yourself to possibilities beyond what your current mindset can conceive. This is the true art of transformation in a single night. It's not about forcing yourself to believe something against all evidence. It's about aligning your entire being with the truth of your divine nature, your oneness with the creative power of the universe. It's about spending one night fully embodying the highest vision of who you truly are. As you practice this, you may find that your outer world begins to shift in subtle ways. Perhaps you start to feel more confident and empowered. Or you find yourself naturally making choices that align with your new self-concept, or opportunities that resonate with your new state of being seem to appear out of nowhere. These are all signs that your inner transformation, initiated in that one powerful night, is creating ripples in your outer reality. Don't discount these small changes. Celebrate them. See them as confirmation that the law is working, that your night of transformation has taken root. But don't become attached to them or anxiously look for them. Simply acknowledge them with gratitude and continue to live from your new state of being. As you persist in this practice, larger changes will begin to manifest. You may find yourself naturally attracting experiences that align with your new self-concept. You may notice that your relationships improve, that your career takes off, that your health flourishes. And as you continue to maintain the state you embodied on that transformative night, you'll discover that life becomes an exciting adventure of ever-expanding possibilities. But remember, the outer manifestation is not the goal. The goal is the state of being from which all desired experiences naturally flow. This is a crucial point, my friends. When you've truly transformed in that one night, when you're fully living from your new state of being, you no longer need external circumstances to confirm your transformation. You're already whole, already complete in your knowing that you are the person you've imagined yourself to be. And paradoxically, it's in this state of inner assurance that you're most likely to experience a life that reflects your ideal self-concept. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about action? Don't we need to do things in the physical world to bring about change? And to this I say, yes, action is part of the process. But it's inspired action, not anxious doing. When you've spent a night fully embodying your ideal state, ideas and opportunities will naturally present themselves to you. You'll feel inspired to take certain actions to move in certain directions. These actions won't feel like struggle or effort. They'll feel natural, joyful, almost effortless. They will be the natural outgrowth of your new state of being. This is the difference between trying to make change happen and allowing it to happen. When you're trying to force transformation, actions feel stressful, born out of fear and doubt. When you've truly embodied a new state of being, actions flow naturally from your aligned state, guided by an inner wisdom that knows exactly how to bring about the manifestation of your transformation. Consider the example of a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. The caterpillar doesn't strain to become a butterfly. It doesn't force itself to grow wings. It simply enters the cocoon and allows the transformation to occur. You, my dear listeners, are no different. When you enter the cocoon of your imagination for that one transformative night, embodying your ideal state, you allow your transformation to unfold naturally and beautifully, expressing the infinite potential that is your birthright. But let me be clear, this state of allowing is not passive. It requires an active use of your imagination, a deliberate and focused embodiment of your ideal state. It requires faith, not blind faith in external circumstances, but faith in the creative power of your consciousness and your ability to transform in a single night. This faith is not about believing that change will come someday in the future. It's about knowing that the change has already occurred in that one night of transformation, and that your outer world must inevitably conform to this new inner reality. As you cultivate this faith, as you persist in living from the state you embodied in that one night, you'll begin to see evidence of your transformation manifesting in your outer world. These signs may start small. A newfound confidence in a situation that would have previously intimidated you, a flash of insight that leads to a breakthrough, an unexpected opportunity that aligns perfectly with your new self-concept. Do not discount these signs, no matter how small they may seem, for they are confirmation that your inner transformation initiated in that one powerful night is indeed shaping your outer reality. They are breadcrumbs leading you to the full realization of the transformed life you have created. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to address a common concern that arises when people first encounter this teaching. Many worry that focusing on personal transformation in this way might somehow make them selfish or disconnected from others. But I assure you, my friends, the opposite is true. When you truly understand the principle of transformation through focused imagination, you realize that you are not separate from others. As you elevate your own consciousness through your imaginal acts, you are elevating the consciousness of all. Your personal transformation, far from disconnecting you from others, actually expands the field of possibilities for all. Moreover, when you are coming from a place of being your ideal self, you naturally have more to give to others. You become a beacon of possibility, a living example of the power of consciousness to reshape reality. Your transformation creates a ripple effect, touching the lives of everyone you encounter with your newfound energy, confidence, and joy. This is the true gift of transforming yourself in a single night. It's not just about improving your individual circumstances, although that will happen. It's about aligning yourself with the fundamental nature of the universe, which is boundless potential and perpetual creation. It's about recognizing your own divine nature and allowing it to express itself fully through you. In this state of alignment of living from the transformation you experienced in that one powerful night, you become a channel for the most beautiful expressions of life. Ideas flow to you effortlessly. Opportunities present themselves naturally. The right people and circumstances appear in your life at the perfect time. This is the magic of living from your transformed state of being. But remember, this magic is not something external to you. It's not some cosmic force that you need to appease or manipulate. It is the natural expression of your own consciousness when it's aligned with the truth of your being. You are the power. You are the magic. You are the one who has transformed yourself in that single, focused night of imagination. As we draw our time together to a close, I want to leave you with a final thought. The principle we've explored tonight, just one night, and you will never be the same again, is not just a technique for personal change. It's about recognizing your true nature as a divine, creative being. It's about aligning your entire being with the fundamental truth of who you are and allowing your grandest expression to flow through you. When you live from this understanding, everything changes. The world becomes a friendly place filled with infinite possibilities. You no longer see yourself as a small, separate being struggling to change. Instead, you recognize yourself as the author of your own transformation, the creator of your own reality. In this state, there's no need to fear change or doubt your ability to transform, for you understand that you are the source of all transformation. Your job is simply to enter that state of forced imagination for one night, to live from that transformed consciousness, and to allow the universe to arrange the details of its manifestation. So, my dear friends, as you leave here tonight, I urge you to embrace this principle with all your heart. Don't see it as a technique to be applied occasionally, but as a way of life to be lived continuously. Use your mighty imagination to immerse yourself fully in your ideal state of being. Feel the naturalness of being the transformed, empowered being you truly are. Live from this state, persist in this knowing, and watch as your world rearranges itself to match your inner transformation. Remember, you are not a limited being struggling to change. You are the infinite consciousness, choosing to experience transformation from this particular vantage point. Your focused night of imagination is the tool through which you shape your experience. Use it wisely with the awareness of your true nature and the responsibility that comes with it. Go forth and create a transformed, fulfilling life that is your birthright, knowing that with each night spent in focused imagination of your ideal state, you are aligning more fully with the truth of your divine, limitless nature. Just one night can indeed change everything, for in that night, you remember who you truly are and set in motion the unfolding of your highest potential. Finally, I encourage you to approach this night of transformation with joy and anticipation. For you are not forcing change, but allowing your true self to emerge. You are not becoming someone new, but remembering who you have always been beneath the layers of limiting beliefs and old habits. In that one powerful night, you reclaim your divine birthright and step into the fullness of your being. And truly, after such a night, you will never be the same again.